Alright, I wanted to talk about the new GoPro Hero 5. I don't know if you guys have seen the news lately, but there have been some leaked images of the new GoPro, and I kind of wanted to give my opinion on it. You know, the GoPro Hero 5 it's one of those, it's an evolution in GoPro's camera line again. You know, it's going to use the same sensor as the GoPro Hero 4 Black. So it's going to do 4K. The new GoPro is going to do everything that the GoPro Hero 4 Black, according to all the news sources that I've seen, does. From what I understand, the new GoPro Hero 5 that's going to be released is going to have the same sensor and same processor as the GoPro Hero 4 Black, which is fine. You know, I'm glad, because, you know, 4K is becoming the all new rage, and they want to make sure that their camera line is going to be up to par when it comes to availability of viewing 4K video when the time is right. Well, I guess they're just trying to stay ahead, is what I'm trying to say. And when you looked at the leaked images that came out today, you know, I think it was The Verge. I'll put the article below. I think they had the pictures of it. It's gonna come in it's kind of a mix between a Hero 4 Black and a Hero Session. You know, it's gonna come out of the box. It's gonna come water resistant or waterproof up to so many meters, and then if you go any deeper, obviously you're gonna have to have the better case in order to, you know, take it deeper. So it's gonna have a different dive housing, but it's gonna, out of the box, you're gonna be able to use it just as you would a Session, which I like. You know, I've used my Session plenty of time, not having to worry about a case, not having to worry about fog and condensation in the camera case is great. I love that. But you know, it's gonna have some type of voice response system on it, kind of like a Siri, if you would say. So, you know, according to what the article was talking about today, it was saying that, like, if you said that was sick, it's gonna know that, and it's either gonna start like taking a picture, or it's gonna start doing something. So there's gonna be a voice response mechanism that's going to be tied into this, you know, which means that it's probably going to have a couple of other functions as well. You know, probably to record, probably to stop. But is that a little gimmicky? Is that gimmicky? I mean, how many people really talk to their phones right now? I do it very little, and if I do it, it's usually into my Apple Watch. Oh shit, what's going on here? Oh, I know what they're doing. There was a big storm that came through last night, and it washed all this sand and dirt up onto the roads. So that's what you're kind of seeing, right? What they're doing right now is cleaning up all that mess. But you know, I don't know if the Hero 4 or the Hero 5 would be something that I would want to purchase, because I own a 3 Plus Silver Edition, and I'm quite happy with it. It does exactly what I want it to do. I don't film in 4K, nor do I need that type of capability right now. So it's fine that it's, you know, it's this. I didn't rush out to buy the Hero 4, because to me the difference in processor, and you know, maybe there was some low light capabilities that the Hero 4 Black did better, but I think the Hero 3 Black also did low light situations better. But you know, that didn't make me go out. I don't do a lot of nighttime riding anyway, so I mean, I didn't want to go. I didn't rush out there to get the Hero 3 or Hero 4. So I'm not going to rush out to get the Hero 5. Now, what would make it a real game changer, in my opinion, is if it came with image stabilization, like a good image stabilization. Because right now, Sony has the market with that, with regards to that. I'm starting to slowly switch all my electronics over to Sony, well, and when it comes to camera equipment. Like the other day I went out and bought a camcorder to vlog with, and it's got that optical image stabilization, so it looks like a weird eye that's kind of following you, but it makes your images, it makes your video like ultra smooth. It's smooth as butter. And it's nice. And when you go online and you look up image stabilization, it does a really good job. Like all the Sony action cams do a really good job. And I'm wanting to switch from GoPro to Sony for that reason. Because I don't just use my GoPros when I'm on a motorcycle. I use them for other reasons. And what I find is I'd like to have something that's a little bit more complete than having to worry about walking funny to have a smooth image. You know, because when you watch it on a little screen, it's fine. But when you have a big screen, like you're watching it on a TV or a larger monitor, that jerky video, it is really hard to concentrate on what's going on when your eyes are just constantly trying to figure out what you should be looking at. And the Sony action cams, they do the 170 degrees just as the GoPros do. I mean, yeah, the image is just a little bit more curvy around the edges, but if you turn on the image stabilization, it crops your video to 120 degree, but it is really smooth, and I really like that. That's something that I am really interested in. And also, when you compare the video, to me, GoPro, it looks, the colors in it look a little flat. And I guess that's just because, I don't know, I don't use Pro Tune a lot, but perhaps if I did. But you know, when you use Sony's and you look at Sony video, the image is crisp, it's very vibrant, it's more saturated, but that's if you turn on their vivid color scheme. I guess it was similar to the Pro Tunes color scheme. But any video that I've watched that's been filmed on a Sony product, it's been spectacular. Something really nice to look at. And Sony has their 4K camera too. And it has the image stabilization in it. And it's got the advanced image stabilization. So, I mean, there was a video that I was watching the other day, and this guy was on his dirt bike, and he was jumping, like, he was jumping everything. He was on a dirt track, and his video looked ultra smooth. And when he also filmed it where he turned it off, and it was jerky as hell. But when he turned it on, it was smooth as butter. And I really like that. And what sucks is that GoPro is such, the name is such, it's garnered such, I guess, clout, that when you go to any store, like I went to Best Buy the other day, today, I went to a couple stores where I knew they sold Sony action cams before, and I looked to see if they had them. Non-existent. Best Buy, don't even carry it. They had a lot of their products kind of on that clearance aisle, and that was just some of the handles, some of the cases, you know, like the dive case and stuff like that. But I don't think people have given enough, I guess, respect to what Sony has done in the camera industry. I mean, when you look at a lot of videos, and if you look at big DSLRs, they're always going to put a Sony up against a Canon. Nikon is in its own class, in my opinion, but Canon makes some of the best cameras, Sony makes some of the best cameras. So Sony took a while for them to come out into the world, but I think they waited to launch their product because they wanted something that was complete. They didn't want to have to worry about playing catch up. I don't think they ever had catch up in mind, because they knew that their product could do what a GoPro does, but better. So the Hero 5, getting back to the point of all this, is the Hero 5 sounds really gimmicky. And until they release more of a complete, I guess, more of a kind of prototypes for people to test, it's gonna remain gimmicky in my opinion. When you got voice control, that just screams gimmick. That screams almost desperation. What can we do? I mean, instead of investing all that money into the session, they should have invested in putting image stabilization into their product. Oh, also, the leaked images of the Hero 5 show a touch screen on the back, which is great, but what does that do for battery life? I mean, if you're gonna be filming in 4K and 60, or let's see, I think it'll do 4K at 60 frames, and if it doesn't, it'll do 4K and 30 frames, but 1080p at 60, that eats a lot of your battery, especially if you want to, well, it's going to eat a lot of your battery. It depends on what you're filming and the purpose of what you're out there for. But then you add a touch screen onto the back of that thing. You know, I don't know if they're trying to make it so that, I mean, part of it, I can see the screen on the back is to frame your shot, to make sure a lot of that stuff is going on. Like framing your shot, making sure that it's exactly what you want to be filming. And, you know, I don't know if they're trying to make it so that if they're trying to make it all purpose, so that if you have a gimbal, you can use a gimbal with it and not have to worry about filming in kind of in the blind. But I don't know. We'll have to see when it comes out. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments. Leave it. I want to hear your opinion, because, you know, it seems like it would be a good thing. But again, I don't know. If you guys like this video, hit the like, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys later. Again, we were talking about the GoPro Hero 5. Let me know your opinion.